our sexuality is such an important piece of our identity to create the magic with more ease and always more playfulness. More play means more pleasure and more effortless connection, and find the different ways to engage, to play, to enjoy each other, and to be intimate with each other without having the pressure to have sex.
Welcome to the Vibrant Couple. Today I have invited Jin, somatic healing and intimacy coach. Welcome, Jin.
Hello, Valdo. Nice to be here.
And so I would love to start with what challenges you see with the couples you work with in the area of intimacy.
So within couples, I have seen, especially people who have been together for a while, they love each other, they respect each other. However, it seems cannot really go deeper together in intimacy, right? In some cases, they're probably not really having that much desire and interest into each other. They do want to build, again, ignite the desires with each other, right? Or some, they do have the regular sex life. However, they feel like it can be definitely more juicy, vibrant, and better. That's
So how
where
do
I
you do?
help them.
Yeah, so how do you do that?
Well, it's really, I support them. The art is, I'm not supporting just a couple, I'm supporting three entities, which means partner A, partner B, and their togetherness, right? When I talk to them first, oftentimes the focus is just on the togetherness. Oh, how can we make our sex better? How can we connect better? How can we hear each other better? It's all about togetherness, which is beautiful. We want to get there. Oftentimes, I start with supporting partner A and B to help them connect better with themselves, which means connect with their body, their desires, the fear, the shame, trauma, and their sexuality. Because whatever we do with our loved ones, it's a reflection of how well we connect with ourselves.
I agree. And so for me, the long-term couple is the best way, best place to surface those basically blockages we have and work on them. Do you have the same view?
I agree with you because long-term relationships, especially we have put in our hearts and time to build it, right? It's the place for healing. It's the place for our fulfillment.
When you and I first talked to prepare this call, you mentioned something I had never heard, which is that you cannot hide in intimacy. Please say more.
Absolutely. I think anyone who have been in a relationship, a committed relationship, hard opening relationships know that we don't want to hide, and also we cannot hide, right? If there's a part of us wants to be hidden from that hard opening relationships, that's not really okay for most people. And intimacy is the place that we share, all of us. We share our good, our bad, our shadow, our desires, our fantasies, and our, any other emotions we go through and any other, life events we have been through. That's what we really mean to have build a nourishing relationship with each other and by become our best self.
And so, could we simplify and say that in the couples that do not have much intimacy is because one or both somehow does not want to reveal themselves to, of course, themselves and then as a result to the other?
I would frame it in a different way. I feel they are blind spots in everyone that we don't really see what we don't know about ourselves. And as you probably most people know, our subconscious or unconscious is really driving our behaviors, right? Not unconscious mind. So what do we don't know? What do we don't know? Is really showing up or building up over time, especially when the relationship was distracted by a lot of external stress or by obligations or, raising child, right? And so that one or both people are not spending conscious time to connect with themselves, so that has become a mundane life instead of like having a deeper connection and intimacy.
Our partner can be our best friend, our best mirror, and they're also the person that suffers the most from the places we are not alive. And
Yeah.
so hearing our partner's, resentment, desires is a really good place to say, hey, this is a place you can wake up and be more alive, be more vibrant in your life.
Yes, absolutely.
So, if I understand well, you're just coming back from a 1 month Tantra teacher training.
Yes.
Please say more about Tantra and how you view your work with couples.
Oh, thank you. I have a lot to say. I will start with when I got so much download from my teacher and transmission from my teacher Sarita about tantra in day-to-day life. So tantra is really, there are two pillars in tantra: love and meditation. So what it means is those are the two elements with different variations of practices, but those are the two elements that help us wave the different polarities, bright and dark, feminine and masculine. And any polarities that we feel might be in conflict, weave them together through love and meditation in our day-to-day life. By doing that, every interaction and every relationship in our life can shift, including sex life, including intimacy. There's a big misunderstanding, in general, about Tantra, about the work of Tantra is, it's just about sex,
I
which
fully
is,
agree with you.
it's far from the truth. It's far from the truth, right? So when Tantra started, which is years ago, back in ancient India, was about including every part of us in this work. Because a lot of work, especially spiritual work or conscious work, back then and also now, I would say, excluding sexuality, right, from the work. However, our sexuality is such an important piece of our identity, of our human being. How can we exclude it from our inner work? So that's why when Tantra started, it's about including all parts of us, especially the part we have less access to, we deny, we reject, we feel shame about, including everything in our inner work, and alchemize it through love and meditation. So that's what real Tantra philosophy is about, right?
I am I'm so in line with you because in these days where we have goals that are totally unattainable, that our partner be our best friend, the best sex we ever have, the best mom or dad, the best this, the best this, the best that. And Tantra enables us to somehow slow down and deal with what is instead of what should be.
Yeah. And also help us wave, because Tantra, actually the Sanskrit word means to wave, right? What to wave? To wave the different parts, especially the same opposite parts together to create the magic, create the harmony within us. So when that happens in every single person, imagine what can happen in your relationships.
And so in my practice, the two main polarity that I wave together is the masculine feminine. In your practice, are there other polarities that you also integrate and wave?
Yeah, I would say a typical example, especially for individuals, is the part we shine, like our gift, our talent, our passion. which we love to show to the world, right? That's one polarity. Another is the parts we run away, we feel ashamed about. We call it shadow, right? Basically, is the light and shadow that within every single person. How do we weave that together and really see the harmony, accept, acknowledge, and see how much interconnection and harmony we can create by accepting and integrating both parts.
So, is in your work with couples an important part in which you help both individuals become visible and share their shadow with their partners so that the shadow can be part of the couple equation?
In order for the two people to come and share the deepest fear or the biggest desire, we take baby steps. First is how much they accept their own fear, the desires, and their love, right? Everything within them. And then we'll come together and use very conscious way of communicating to share their desire, the fear, the love, the fantasy, and what they like, what they dislike, and what they desires about the intimacy. Yeah.
Wonderful. And so I work with a lot of men, both single men and men in couples. Some of it is in practice, some of that is the men's groups that I lead. A lot of these men have a background of being nice guys. And so,
Okay.
in your practice, which I believe is a shadow, in your practice, do you invite the men to share that shadow of a man somehow wanting to be liked, wanting to be validated, being totally in his head as a result, as a way of letting go of that and being, in one's body, to one's body, and then real intimacy and sexual intimacy can happen?
Yeah, so it's quite common for a lot of men with good heart and big heart are doing their inner work, are very nice. Like in your word, there's nice guy syndrome,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
Which
I
is different. Which is different from being kind.
okay. Share with me more. What do you notice of being kind and being nice in your men's group?
Yeah, and so a nice guy basically, in some ways, does not know who he is, and he seeks validation from others, and especially his partner. And as a result, he's totally caught in loops in his head and always wandering. And a conscious man is present in his bodies with few thoughts. And so the nice guy will pretend to be nice, but what do you want, darling? And the kind man will be present and will know what his partner wants and will offer that as of kindness, not because he wants to be validated, not because he wants to be liked. He already knows that she likes him, she wants him. He has no identity issues about it.
Yeah. So, nice guy as people pleaser, they like to be validated and to be acknowledged by giving what others people want. Meanwhile, they neglect what they really want and their boundaries. Therefore, there's no ground for them to have a place in relationships. I don't mean just romantic relationships, any relationships, right? And when people lose ground, that's not going to be nice. That's not to be kind to anybody.
Jin, are you a dancer?
Oh, yes, I love dancing.
Wonderful. And so a few days ago, I thought of a new some sort of tagline or new, thumbnail for a video about women wanting an exciting partner and a stable dance floor. And so,
Okay.
if we use that metaphor, would you equate that the nice guys don't provide the safe dance floor because somehow they don't know who they are, they don't have those boundaries.
Yeah, I would agree. If the stable dance floor means their own grounding and centeredness, absolutely. Because I would say any individual, like men, women, you know, we all need our grounding, our foot on the ground, and know our boundaries, know what we desire, and know what works for us, what doesn't, right? And be able to speak up for it, right? It sounds very simple, but it's not easy.
I totally agree. And so I was about to comment that the last few seconds you were fully in your body and your presence when you said that, which I believe is one of the keys to healthy and vibrant sexual intimacy. So, how do you bring that embodiment to your clients?
I really support them to connect with their own centeredness, to know from the body senses, from the embodiment level, not just from the thinking head, that what they desire, what they would love to have, what is a no for them, what is a yes for them. And here, the key word is embodiment. Because way too often, we think what we need, we think from this is what the society or peers' pressure have on us, right? However, if we do not pass the embodiment process, it's really hard to ask for it, and it's even harder to receive it, even we have that in front of us. Does
So,
that
how
make
do you,
sense?
yeah, of course, how do you inspire that?
So it's really about getting connected with their, let's say, started from the five senses. How do they orient themselves, you know, in a relationship or with new people? How do they orient themselves in a new environment, right? So this is all in us. I'm not teaching anyone that is out of their reach. I mostly inspire them to connect with what their body is capable of. However, we neglect most of the time, right? So that's the starting point.
Yeah. So I'm fully in agreement with you. What I'm noticing with my clients is that often they have made up identities of themselves and their partners in their heads that keep them in their heads. Do you see that as well?
Yeah, I think that happens to everyone. Yeah. Yeah, because we all go through different events and we have our different upbringings and we heard the messages from the society, from religions and from media. So all that has accumulated imprint in us and influence our identities.
And so, how much of your work is on unlocking, healing, transforming those beliefs, identities that we have somehow accumulated over the years?
Yeah, I would say it's through the entire process, right? When I support someone to connect with their body, with their sexuality, right? It's not like one session we do identity work, another session we do sexuality work, right? No, because everything is shifting, I would say, simultaneously. They all influence each other, right? The theme is about how familiar we are with how we feel on the body level, how much we are aware about our breathing, our movement, our sound, our emotions, right? Our judgment. So when we become more conscious, not just from the thinking head, oh, we should do this, we should do that. No, but from how is my body reacting to this relationship, to this movement, to this behavior, right? And how much is from our unconscious level. When we make it visible, make it conscious, and then the mind can address it. Because you probably have heard the body keeps a score, right? Our
Yeah.
trauma, our our repressed emotions stored in the body.
Yeah.
And by exploring our body and our somatic healing modalities can really help us rewire that layers.
So it sounds like you and I are in agreement about it's about presencing to oneself into our body, into our feelings, and as a result, our own body becomes some sort of a resonance chamber. Like if I were a cello, I would use my own body as a way of feeling you and knowing you from the resonance it would be, and then I would be acting from that versus what my thinking tape is.
When we only focus on our thinking mind, we are underutilizing our whole potential because our body wisdom has so much to say and to inform us. So when body, mind, and sexuality and our higher awareness all come in one place, come together, we are playing the whole instrument.
And so please give us a few examples of results you have with your clients, both in the ones that don't have much intimacy and in rekindling it, and then the ones who have some and can up level for more.
Oh, okay. This is part I love to share. I have seen clients who, so there's a female client I worked last year. When she came to me, she really thought she was asexual, was not interested in intimacy at all, and felt very, very frustrated with her former partner. That's why they separated. One of the reasons they separated, right? In fact, when we started working together, we found there's so much energy all in the thinking head. What we should be, what intimacy should be like, how sex, needs to happen, and the body image and all this, right? And then what we really did is to help her really diffuse that energy and spread attention on all her body, as well as did some somatic healing on the past event, rejections, the inner child wounding, all that. And on top of it, we also connect with our sexual energy, right? Which is foreign to most of us, right? So as a result, she is having a happy relationship, and she really feels vibrant and in her femininity in a way that feels so good and natural. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so do you have an example of results with a couple that came to you who already had a somewhat satisfying sexual intimacy and who got more as a result?
Yeah, so in fact, this is someone I'm supporting right now. It's a younger couple in 30s. They actually have a very good foundation to start with. And what they know is they want to have even better foundation before they start a family, right? They know the family stress can wash away a lot of the juicy part, right? So what we did is really identify what are the ways to help them connect with more ease. Because and with more ease and with more playfulness. That's important, especially for two young professionals, right? More play means more pleasure and more effortless connection, so that they can laugh at whatever is happening in the intimacy, and also keep this momentum going. And another thing is to help them expand the ways they can connect. Because when they started coming to me, they say, oh, they think is intimacy equals sex. And what I help them with is to expand intimacy is far above sex, bigger, wider than sex, and find the different ways to engage, to play, to enjoy each other, and to be intimate with each other without having the pressure to have sex. So that's
Pressure,
where you can have
yeah,
more fun.
that's wonderful. Pressure is a killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jean, I so enjoyed our connection and our time together. Would you have any advice for our listeners as a gift for having watched us so far?
Oh, I would say this to my past self, also share with anybody who is interested, is do the inner work to connect with all parts of us, our heart, our sexuality, our body, and the mind, so that we can bring the most vibrant, playful self in life and into any relationships we have.
If this video inspired you to liberate more love, please hit the like button below and subscribe so you can be notified when I publish new juicy content. And please share with all you believe would benefit. Here is the video that inspired me to invite Jin. Here is a video Jin did on the cycles in our sexuality. And here are two videos I did in my new Becoming a Conscious Couple series, should you want to develop more connection and playfulness.